And now for something completely different.
It's a rich man's world.
Forget everything you've been told by others before. Get ready for the real deal, the full story, real talk about money, markets, life. Now, it's The Real Investment Show, presented by RIA Advisors.
I'm on. Oh, I'm here. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Financial Fitness Friday of the Real Investment Show. I'm Rich Rosso, CFP, here with Danny Ratliff, CFP. You want to hear one of the best Thanksgiving quotes?
Yes, sir.
Thanksgiving, man. Not a good day to be my pants. Kevin James.
You searched long and hard for that one?
No, just pop right up. Just pop right up. Man, Thanksgiving's a great holiday. You like it?
I do. It is a great holiday.
I could eat that Thanksgiving food every day. I could eat the turkey and the dress. I even like the stuff that nobody else likes, right? It's, you know, the Christmas Story, the movie they run 24 hours, which
Yep.
I still don't understand why it's such a cult classic movie. But the dad's like a turkey fiend. Arrgh! You know, when the turkey's in the oven. I don't know, man. There's something about it. So
what's your favorite Thanksgiving meal or
I just
or
like
side?
it all. I mean, like, it's hard for me to maybe like any kind of casserole with green beans in it.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of. Like, I don't want anything green. I eat green all day, every day. I don't want it green on Thanksgiving. Everything else is. I even like the you know, that's a. I can't do
what
the
is
sound.
that?
That's the cranberry sauce coming out of the can.
Oh,
as a
yeah.
Suction. You know, I could even eat that with the rim on it. You know, with the ridges. You
Yep.
just cut it up. Man, I don't know. I'm a Thanksgiving freak.
So are you one of those guys that has to have everything separated, or do you mix it all up?
You know, kids are funny. What do your kids do? Because kids don't like their food to touch usually.
Yeah.
I mean, I know kids like they don't want any food to touch. I didn't care. It's like it's all going in the same place. Let's
Correct.
just, that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, yeah. Mix it up.
Yeah. I don't need no Thanksgiving Day plate acid allocation. I just want to mix it all together and eat it. But man, there are some kids. I'm telling you, it's crazy. My cousins were like, "Don't let the cranberry sauce touch the turkey. Don't let this happen." My aunt threw the plate right out the window.
Yeah. I've got one who's like that. And the other two, they're pretty good about it. But one, he's certainly very particular.
Well, I think we have a lot of turmoil. We have a lot of unknowns financially with taxes and other things. I call it the tax turbulence period. It's tough to plan for it, but there are a lot of things that we do need to be grateful for. So sometimes we lose that perspective. Not grateful for futures. Dow futures down 167 points. NASDAQ futures down this morning. Lance talked about this, Danny, that we would be in this soft patch, right? Mutual fund distributions and selling before we maybe, kick into the, Santa Claus Rally. But you also wonder if Santa Claus has already delivered the goodies.
Well, I mean, a lot of these retailers are saying that people were shopping earlier, concerns about the supply chain. So that could be the case. I mean, maybe we are seeing that. But, I'm talking to people each day, as I'm sure you are, and I know people are still going to scramble. There's still that procrastination to some extent. Oh, yeah, we're going to get it done. I've done a little shopping, but
you're a
haven't
plan.
done it all.
Being a certified financial planner, I don't know about you, but as a kid, I planned everything.
Yeah.
I planned everything months in advance. I'm still a planner, and the girlfriend is not. And she got all her Christmas shopping done. So, which tells me that, wow, if did, everybody did.
Yeah. So she beat you.
I'm like, wow, I'm impressed. I'm rubbing off on you. So that you got all your Christmas.
Now, does she make a budget?
I don't see Amy making a budget.
No.
I really don't. No, I think maybe she does. I don't think she's doing it like I'm doing it, but I think maybe she does. Speaking of budgets, interesting story, because when CVS bought Aetna, there was this looking at a transformation of a a drugstore, a pharmacy, into maybe a health diagnostics company. So really interesting that they're going to shut down 900 stores over the next 3 years, right? So they're going to adapt to these preferences to buy online and also look at new formats that offer more health diagnostics and services. I thought they were going to go this way. I just didn't know when they were going to initiate it. And I was wondering how investors were going to handle it. And it looks like they're going to handle it pretty well. They're going to take an impairment charge of about $1 billion to $1.2 billion in the fourth quarter for that. But I think you're going to see a lot of stores overall see smaller footprints for real estate. It's going to be interesting over the next decade to see how it all looks, isn't it?
It will be, and it's interesting to see what they're doing because we've kind of seen the writing on the wall. They've been slowly migrating towards this already. Mm-hmm. You went in. I mean, think about this. Years ago, it used to be they just had the pharmacy. That was it. Then they started, blood pressure machines. I mean, I guess those have been in there for a while. Then flu shots. Next thing you know, there's somebody on site who can. I mean, shoot, you can go to H-E-B and see a nurse practitioner or a doctor. So a lot of these stores are coming around to doing more and more of this. And, I do find it interesting. They're going to shut down 900 stores. Now, granted, what is that, like 10%, I think, of their storefronts?
It's about 10%.
So,
it sounds a lot on an absolute basis, but relatively speaking, yeah.
But does this start a bigger trend? What does this do to retail space? I mean, we've already seen, some of these places have been in trouble. I mean, I've driven down the road close to our house, and there's a place that used to be a pharmacy. It's gone. And it's been like that for years.
Somewhere in the corner, Spirit Halloween is rubbing its hands together.
Oh, you know it.
Another location. Right?
And those stores are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And there'll be a fireworks stand,
I heard sooner or later you're going to be able to get your colonoscopy at Spirit Halloween.
Have you seen the prices?
It feels like you are. Like taking your wallet out. Man, Halloween's a big business. Thanksgiving, not so much. Although I do have skeletons. I keep my skeletons up in the yard through the holidays.
You hang them from your Christmas tree or have them like
no, they're in the front yard
on?
Sitting on two chairs. And one has a blonde wig. I won't say why. And then one has this really cool gray wig. And I just dress them. They get dressed for Halloween, then they get dressed for Thanksgiving, and then they get dressed for Christmas. And I go on next door to see what the HOA thinks about it. So
I'd love to be like your neighborhood watch party, or hey, meet your neighbor. Hey, that crazy guy down the street? Everybody keep an eye on him.
I was thinking I'm going to keep those skeletons out all year.
I think you should.
Put RIA shirts on them, sit them out front.
Maybe we don't go that far, okay?
Free financial advice. Oh, man. Well, again, we've had such a great year in the market so far. Hopefully we get this, we do get this Santa Claus Rally overall. I think the challenge, and Lance talks about this, is next year. We're already prepping investors to say, listen, lots of turbulence with the Fed, changes at the Fed. When we get back, though, we're going to talk about some changes going on with Medicare. What you need to know here on Financial Fitness Friday, Real Investment Show. Be right back.
Daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Retirement's not what it used to be, and long-term care could enhance your golden years. The question is not whether you can afford it, but whether you can afford not to have it. Our next virtual Lunch and Learn will cover the management of long-term care expenses that could make or break your retirement. Join Jonathan Penn and Chris Liebum for the basics of long-term care. Register at realinvestmentadvice.com for our virtual virtual lunch and learn on long-term care. December 9th at noon. RealInvestmentAdvice.com.
Hi, Lance Roberts here. If you're like most people, your 401k plan represents the bulk of your retirement assets. And unfortunately for many, managing your 401k plan can be difficult. There's so many choices, so many things to consider. With just a quick email, a couple of questions, you can put RIA advisors to work for you managing your 401k plan. Get started right now at the website, realinvestmentadvice.com, or simply call our toll-free number, 855-RIA-PLAN, or again, simply online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Small businesses are discovering that attracting and retaining top talent come down to more than just salary. In today's highly competitive job market, compensation is more than just wages. Hi, I'm Tom Allen, RIA Advisors Retirement Plan Consultant. Healthcare and retirement plans can make the difference in hiring and retaining the best employees. We can show you how to build an affordable, effective employment package that delivers true value for your workers and your business. Call me toll-free at 855-RIA-PLAN or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
And now, another page from the Real Investment Advisors Investing Manifesto. Bulls win in bull markets. Bears win in bear markets. Eagles soar above and take advantage of opportunity. Let us help you soar as you reach your financial goals with RIA Advisors. Neither bull nor bear. RIA Advisors, 281-501-1791 or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
The Real Investment Show.
And welcome back, everybody. So next year we're going to have just an amazing assortment of workshops, lunch and learns, financial education for the kids, for the grandkids, some basics. Maybe the audience wouldn't be interested in. Maybe some brush up for you too, even if you're a tenured investor or you're a good saver. But one of our events this year, we have our long-term care Zoom webinar coming up, the Lunch and Learn, Thursday, December 9th at noon, right? So this is going to be Chris and John Penn. And John's also a certified financial planner. Chris is certified with Social Security, knows his stuff. But long-term care is just something we stress so much about as far as the mitigation of risk or events that could happen to you. We stress this at our retirement right lane class, but this Lunch and Learn at noon on December 9th is, can you afford not to have long-term care? What are the strategies that you need to look at? Do you need it? I'm still puzzled by people who can purchase insurance without a plan, like just buy insurance. I am puzzled by people who can sell insurance. Not that I think insurance is incredibly important. I just wouldn't know how much
Correct.
to offer you. Say, Danny, I don't know. I know just so much about you. And then I'm going to say you need this amount of insurance. I'm either going to underinsure you or way overinsure you. And that's not really what I think the job is. The job is to make sure I am matching what you need based on the resources you have and the needs you have. And I think that requires comprehensive planning to figure out the dollar amount. You know, everybody talks about what's your number? What's your number? Well, there's an insurance number, and you have to get that through planning. And long-term care insurance is not cheap. And there are many ways to do it, and some don't need it. And that's what this workshop will help you understand is the importance of it, because none of us really think we're going to need help with activities of daily living. Heck, Danny, you just went through that, and you're a young guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't get up. Man, I don't think there's anything more helpless than, right? I don't know. I'm not speaking. You have the experience, but that's got to be.
Yeah,
when you have to depend on other people.
Brutal.
Right?
I mean, such a change where you can be active, do your own things, you're independent, and then, in a blink of an eye, you cannot. And that can happen to anybody at any age, and that's the problem, I think, that people discount, say, well, I'm too young, I don't need long-term care, I don't need disability insurance, this will never happen to me. And it can. I mean, thank goodness that we're in an environment and a job where we can work remotely, we can still do things, and the world has changed drastically. Had this happened 10, 15 years ago, it would have been a different ball game where, these things would have been that much more crucial. So, but you're right, Rich. I mean, how can you determine what you need if you don't actually know what you have, or the advisor or whoever it may be trying to give you advice on long-term care, insurance, life insurance? I mean, how many people do you come to you and say, hey, I need life insurance. Will you just need 8-9 times my salary, whatever that rule is? And we say, whoa, hold on now. Let's talk about this. Do you have kids? Let's talk about the big picture. Okay, what type of debt do you have? When does that, when do you pay that off?
Right. Do you have a legacy option?
Correct.
Do you really want to leave money behind, or is it I will spend what I have to and then whatever is left? Now, I will tell you, you're up against open enrollment, and there are going to be some benefits you have that, hey, you don't have a plan, and you're going to have to back into a plan possibly. I spoke to someone the other day who has children, went through her new benefits package, and she was just like, I said, did you take long-term disability? She says, no. I'm like, what?
Go back?
That's $41 a paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if you became disabled and you couldn't bring in income? What would you do? Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know exactly. I mean, we went for 66% of her income. I don't know if that's enough, but I wanted to make sure that I got to get that in. This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
I understand you're a young woman, but, you're not invincible, especially driving these roads, God forbid.
Oh, man.
So, we have to understand how important insurance is.
Well, Rich, step back on that real quick, though, because at 66% of income, you have to think about this. Most people say, well, that's not going to be nearly enough.
And that's the question. Go ahead. But that's what she said.
And here's the key. But if you start backing out all of your benefits, you back out your 401k contributions, your taxes, you're likely already at that 66% mark for what you're actually taking home. So
good point.
This is, don't discount that in that aspect and say, oh, well, that's not even going to touch what I have. I'm not going to spend $41 a month, because it is much closer to where you are than you think.
Absolutely. So I think you'll learn quite a bit about long-term care. You may not need it, but at least you're aware of it. And I find more adult children are becoming more aware of the benefits of it just because they may have a parent or grandparent going through the trials and tribulations of not being able to do certain activities of daily living. And as we have longevity risk today, most likely you will have a long-term care event. 70% of 65-plus Americans will need some form of long-term care risk mitigation. And Medicare is not the program to pay for it. Yes, there are certain limited benefits depending upon a condition that could occur beforehand, but it is not long-term care. Speaking of Medicare, we are in annual open enrollment. If you are watching Westerns all day, not me, but Jimmy J.J. Walker, man, William Shatner, 90 years old. He sounds sharp as a whip on those commercials. Right? I mean, I don't know if I'd have him drive a car, but I would. He's really good at these Medicare benefits, but these are very seductive, aren't they? These ads, this massive advertising campaign and mailers for Medicare, and I get what I deserve. These are all Medicare Advantage plans, right? So if I opt for traditional Medicare, Part A and B, I also have to realize I just bought a slice of Swiss cheese, and there are holes. I need to fill the holes with private insurance. What type of private insurance do I need? So I join traditional Medicare. I pick a supplemental plan, Medigap, which we like, right? We use Medigap. We prefer Medigap. There are some advantages to Medicare Advantage, but our overall choice is, if you can, Medigap. We'll talk about some of the benefits and trends of Medicare Advantage as well. So you pick this plan to help you cover some of Medicare's sizable deductibles and so forth, but you only have this access to Medigap for a certain period of time, depending upon whether you just left a job, if you're just 65 and you don't have a job. 6 months after you enroll in Medicare Part B, you have to have this period of time to get this Medigap. And I don't know people understand that once they fall out that window, doesn't sound very healthy to fall out the window, but once they fall out of that window for that coverage, guess what happens? If I have a pre-existing condition, I may not be able to get it back.
Yeah.
It's not really clear when it comes to open enrollment and Medigap overall. But you have to keep in mind, you're going to miss that narrow window for Medigap if you're just focused on Medicare Advantage in Part A and Part B. So you got to step away from the commercials. And I don't think anybody ever really talks about that. I mean, I talked to someone the other day who has a financial advisor who said, yeah, no, you can switch during this enrollment period out of your Medicare Advantage and go to Medigap. I said, you have a history of breast cancer. I'm not an underwriter, but that pre-existing condition might prevent you from getting this policy.
Well, they were right. You can switch, but will you be able to, or what's the cost of doing business here?
Correct. Right.
I mean, it may be astronomical, and that's going to be the issue. So that is the reason why if you can do original Medicare over Medicare Advantage, typically if it's not a cash flow issue, we generally lean or veer towards that direction just because it is better. It's more comprehensive. Now, you're not going to get the shiny watch. You may not get the gym membership or whatever else they may be giving away, whatever the toaster of the week is. But at the end of the day, you're going to be much better off for it.
Now, I didn't know this, Danny. This is according to Tricia Newman. She's Executive Director for Medicare Policy at Kaiser Foundation, which we follow quite a bit here at RIA for trends in healthcare. 17% of the 33 million people in traditional Medicare, that's Part A and B, they have no supplemental insurance.
None.
So think about what their out-of-pocket costs could be for serious condition, like a cancer or something like that. I mean,
that's a scary thought.
That is a scary thought. And then when people get cancer, they go, oh, what's going on? I'm going to try to get a Medigap policy now.
So somebody like that would have been better off, though, on Medicare Advantage versus having nothing.
At least something.
Yeah.
At least something. And it does show you that the Medicare decision, the alphabet soup, is still very difficult. Now, for us, it's not that difficult. For most, it is. And it's an intimidating process. And there are multiple enrollment periods. You're coming to the end of this annual enrollment period where I can say, listen, I don't like this Medicare Advantage plan. I'm going to go to another one, right? And if you're in Medicare Advantage, you do have to shop every year. We tell people all the time, even if you have Medigap policy and a Part D, a prescription drug plan, you got to do the homework every year to make sure that you're doing the right thing. As far as costs, most older Americans do not do the homework. But we do have clients on Medicare Advantage that do the homework every year and make switches. But you can't go in and out of Medigap if you have a pre-existing condition. It's going to be a problem. When we get back, since Medicare Advantage is so popular, I asked Christopher Ciano over at Aetna to give us an idea of what trends are happening in Medicare Advantage. What's he seeing over at Aetna? You might be surprised. When we return here on Financial Fitness Friday, we'll be right back.
The Real Investment Advice blog. It's required reading for the informed investor. Catch it today at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Retirement's not what it used to be, and long-term care could enhance your golden years. The question is not whether you can afford it, but whether you can afford not to have it. Our next virtual Lunch and Learn will cover the management of long-term care expenses that could make or break your retirement. Join Jonathan Penn and Chris Liebum for the basics of long-term care. Register at realinvestmentadvice.com for our virtual Lunch and Learn on long-term care. December 9th at noon. realinvestmentadvice.com.
Have the market's gyrations made you nervous? If so, it's because you have more risk in your portfolio than you realize. It's time to reevaluate your long-term investing strategy with RIA Advisors. Our disciplined approach can help eliminate unnecessary risk. We do that by having both a buy and sell discipline. Does your advisor do that? If you think it's time to work with an advisor who puts your interests first, it's time for real investment advice. RIA Advisors, 855-RIA-PLAN. RIAadvisors.com.
And now, another page from the Real Investment Advisors Investing Manifesto. A passive investment portfolio requires active risk management. It's not a choice, it's necessity. Diversification doesn't protect against risk of loss. Let us actively help you reach your financial goals with RIA Advisors. Neither bull nor bear. RIA Advisors, 281-501-1791 or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Can't catch the whole show now? Listen to our podcast later at realinvestmentadvice.com.
My wife put up Christmas lights this weekend, so she's very excited now. But she's very upset at the same time, Brent.
Why is this?
She ordered another Christmas tree for the house. Showed up at the house, she set it up, she goes, honey, this tree's not big enough. We need another one. We'll have one on one side of the fireplace and one on the other. And I'm like, no, we're not. One tree.
The Real Investment Show podcast. Same show, your schedule.
Needless to say, I slept on the couch this weekend
at realinvestmentadvice.com.
The saga of Christmas trees in my household.
Small businesses are discovering that attracting and retaining top talent come down to more than just salary. In today's highly competitive job market, compensation is more than just wages. Hi, I'm Tom Allen, RIA Advisors Retirement Plan Consultant. Healthcare and retirement plans can make the difference in hiring and retaining the best employees. We can show you how to build an affordable, effective employment package that delivers true value for your workers and your business. Call me toll-free at 855-RIA-PLAN or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Real Investment Show podcasts are now available from Stitcher Smart Radio at Stitcher.com.
Hi, Lance Roberts here. If you're like most people, your 401k plan represents the bulk of your retirement assets, and unfortunately for many, managing your 401k plan can be difficult. There's so many choices, so many things to consider. With just a quick email, a couple of questions, you can put RIA Advisors to work for you managing your 401k plan. It's a quick and easy application. Just simply click Ask a Question at realinvestmentadvice.com or give us a call at 855-RIA-PLAN. That's realinvestmentadvice.com.
The Real Investment Show YouTube page has all of our videos ready for your easy access. From 3 minutes on markets and money to each day's radio shows. Subscribe and bookmark our YouTube channel for The Real Investment Show, or just click on the show links at realinvestmentadvice.com. Realinvestmentadvice.com.
You're listening to The Real Investment Show.
So in a prior life, I worked for Macy's. And that's also why I like Thanksgiving. So I worked, my first job out of school, I was a department manager for Macy's. And I loved it. Like, I was great. I loved it. I knew I was the first manager to actually take the names of the people who would shop, because they would go out before they went to the Hamptons. I was in one of the Long Island, New York stores.
Okay.
Before they went to the Hamptons, they'd forget something. And they'd come to Macy's. I had Mel Brooks and Bancroft. I had this Rolodex of like poshy stars that would come in because they missed their stock pot. Richard, what stock pot do I need to kill the lobsters in? Oh, I found one for you, Miss Bancroft. Come pick it up. So then I got promoted to Herald Square. And of course, one of my favorite Christmas movies, Miracle on 34th Street. Brent, good movie. Yeah. Brent's got the Santa bod. He understands. And so that flagship store around Christmas was magical. Mm-hmm. And where am I going with this? Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's cool. It's still on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if the balloons are what they were. But, man, seeing that in person. But one of the jobs you had working at Macy's, because I was a buyer at Herald Square, was you had to be there to help with the parade and the balloons and, carrying like underdog and stuff. So I got to do that. That's a fun experience. I don't think I'd want to do that again in below 10-degree weather. I don't think Brent would like that. But man, that's one of those other traditions, Thanksgiving's Day Parade. I wonder when that goes away.
I don't know. Are we allowed to celebrate those things?
Next. So, I don't know if we can anymore. Christopher Ciano is president of Aetna Medicare. What? Right? CVS Health Company. So Chris is really good. Chris, we try to get some intelligence as to, hey, what's the trends in Medicare Advantage? Because we have to face it, it is popular. So Medicare Advantage is popular. It could be affordable for people, depending on their budgets. It could be, it's all inclusive, right? So I could get my prescription drugs. Sometimes I get my gym memberships. But what's happening is, as Medicare Advantage is, what they're trying to do is they also are trying to expand benefits coverage. Now, this is a very profitable business for health insurers. And again, very popular with many consumers. If you look at the Kaiser Foundation, how many people are signing up for Medicare Advantage? So we always have some specific rules. If you go to our website, Real Investment Advice, type in Medicare Advantage, you'll see some of the rules we have for looking at it. We think Medigap is more comprehensive overall, but there are people who are in good health. They're going to do their investigations every year, and they find that Medicare Advantage works. So one of the things is what kind of trends. I asked, hey, Chris, what trends are you seeing in annual enrollment period? And obviously he's talking about, hey, a plan that fits your budget. We already know, we understand cost of living adjustments for Social Security is going to be close to 6%, and that's nice, but seniors are getting really burdened by higher inflation. And it would be interesting to see what the CPI-E-elderly, I don't think that's a very nice term, but that's what it's called, which more accurately reflects the what consumers, senior Americans pay. I would imagine I can't even imagine what that must look like compared to the CPI, Danny.
Yeah, no.
So obviously costs are very, very important. Supplemental benefits, they want different healthy foods, benefit cards, behavioral health. Very important for seniors. When you think about this age group for senior Americans, the social isolation and mental health issues, I don't think are really discussed. But we notice when people retire and they're not as social as they used to be, how mentally they sort of deteriorate. Yeah. It's not a good thing. You get a taste of that during the pandemic, right? Sort of younger, I'm like, whoa, how do you sit home all day? What day is it? What time is it? You can isolate very easily. And just because you have all this social media and ways to keep in touch, there's that wall between you and life. And Medicare Advantage trend is to look at how do we help older Americans with that. So I thought that was pretty good. It's this is called Aetna and CVS Health have embedded behavioral health clinicians in select CVS Health Hub locations. I had no idea. And this is probably part of the trend, right? Mm-hmm. Even when they probably would have, I envision what CVS has is smaller retail footprints that are just behavioral clinics. Imagine clinics just for 65 plus. Where you don't have to go through all the rigmarole, right? You walk right in. I could see that being a pretty good market. What do you think? Especially with our demographics, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, you have someplace you can walk in. You don't have to wait as long. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Half the time you go to the doctor, you're spending at least probably 50 to 75% of it, if not more, just waiting to get in. To be seen. So I think that would be a big benefit. I think that also those social aspects, we talk about this frequently in our right lane class, and how do you maintain that vitality? What's your purpose? What do you want to do? Right. And unfortunately, we find, especially in the pandemic, we did find that even younger people were struggling with this, but it really is a difficult thing, that crossover risk, as you deem it, that going from having those goals, those deadlines, to having nothing is difficult, and especially for men, we find more often than not. So I think any types of programs in this aspect that can help maybe bring that along a little bit is going to be really beneficial.
So, again, what's cool about this information from Chris is we could get an idea of really what health providers are thinking. So this is pretty cool. Aetna recently expanded its companionship benefit, Papa Inc. Oh, I can see myself doing that. Allowing members to connect with adult companions called Papa Pals. Soon to be a show on Saturday morning cartoon television. No, I'm only kidding about that. So listen, it helps older adults with household chores, technology, rides to the doctor. One of the things we always talked about in the Right Lane class is most older Americans want to age in place. Mm-hmm. That's the most popular. Why wouldn't you want to be at home, right? I don't want to be in some facility. The ability with technology, whether it's DoorDash or Uber, have helped, I know many seniors I work with, tremendously to get out there. Because if they can't drive anymore, at least they can get around. Well, this is a program through through Medicare Advantage, through Aetna, Papa Pals, right? So they're going to go ahead and they're going to help you with all this stuff and provide that human interaction and connection. That's pretty interesting. So CVS's 2021 Healthcare Insights study, 60% of those aged 65 and older said that virtual care is either the same or better than the care they received during an in-person visit. That's why I asked about telehealth, because telehealth is becoming so popular. So now they're going to have telehealth visits for primary care, urgent care, specialty care, and healthy home visits benefits to offer a video visit. So what's where Medicare Advantage has to go, and just Medicare in general, just providing services, you have to have the technology. Yeah, but yet we're trying to also be high touch. So obviously where Chris is saying is that's where Aetna's Medicare Advantage, which is one of the largest, that's where they're looking to go.
Well, I think they are getting more comprehensive in nature. They're looking at other things, obviously, than just the healthcare aspect of it, which is promising. To have somebody on staff to help people kind of talk through these different scenarios, I mean, that's a game changer, I think, in a lot of ways, Rich, that something that was not offered that is really needed for this demographic.
There are going to be so many innovations by the private sector to help older Americans. And let's face it, I understand we have this great resignation going on right now, people switching jobs. Who knows how temporary or permanent or transitory that is going to be. But the fact is we don't have enough people to fill jobs. Because we had an acceleration of individuals looking to retire, right, during the pandemic. Those people are not coming back, right? So to address keeping older Americans healthy, because here's what I think is going to happen. And it just happened to a client of mine the other about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He was at a store he goes to all the time, right? It's an outdoor store. I don't know which one it is. And since he's there and he knows all the stuff, they said, hey, would you like to work here? You know, you're really good. He goes, well, I don't need to work. I'm retired. I mean, we did a plan. He looks great. We'll pay you $19 an hour. He goes, oh,
well,
you know, I'm 72 years old. Could I spare 12, 16 hours a week?
Why not?
Now he's going to work. I think it's Bass Pro. And I'm like, you're going to have to get some of the older Americans back, even though they look to retire, back into the workforce to take these jobs. And that's another way to keep social. But I just thought it was interesting that some people are getting poached in the stores.
Well, good for them, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
Brett's going to be
way.
working the deli aisle, the deli counter at H-E-B next week. So you can catch him there. We get back, we want to wrap up some of these programs. And the reason we're bringing up Aetna's programs for you is they're trendsetters. And since they're trendsetters, this is what's going to happen across the board. So if Medicare Advantage is fitting into your budget, here are some of the benefits that you might find interesting that are here now and that will be coming. Here on Financial Fitness Friday. We'll be right back.
Get daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Retirement's not what it used to be, and long-term care could enhance your golden years. The question is not whether you can afford it, but whether you can afford not to have it. Our next virtual Lunch and Learn will cover the management of long-term care expenses that could make or break your retirement. Join Jonathan Penn and Chris Liebum for the basics of long-term care. Register at realinvestmentadvice.com for our virtual Lunch and Learn on long-term care. December 9th at noon. realinvestmentadvice.com.
Do you know what you don't know when hiring and retaining quality employees? Compensation is more than just wages. It's personal time off, the vacation days, healthcare benefits, a 401k. Do you know what's important to them? Hi, I'm Tom Allen, RIA Advisors Retirement Plan Consultant. Let us show you how to make the most of an affordable, effective package that will deliver true value for your business and your employees. Call me toll-free at 855-RIA-PLAN or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Hi, Lance Roberts here. If you're like most people, your 401k plan represents the bulk of your retirement assets, and unfortunately for many, managing your 401k plan can be difficult. There's so many choices, so many things to consider. With just a quick email, a couple of questions, you can put RIA advisors to work for you managing your 401k plan. Get started right now at the website, realinvestmentadvice.com, or simply call our toll-free number, 855-RIA-PLAN, simply online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
And now, another page from the Real Investment Advisors Investing Manifesto. Manage risk and volatility rather than trying to manage gains. You don't have to be right all the time. Long-term investing success is a 70% gain. Let us help you reach your financial goals with RIA Advisors. Neither bull nor bear. RIA Advisors, 281-501-1791 or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
The Real Investment Show.
I'm realizing is there are not really a lot of funny Thanksgiving quotes. Here's a nice one, though. Good mashed potato is one of the great luxuries of life. Any commentary on that, Mr. Clanton? You think that that's true?
This spud's for you.
How come there's not a Brent Clanton Thanksgiving quote in there?
I think we got to figure one out. Come on, Brent.
I'm telling you.
Give us something to work with here.
Oh, well, here's one. Hold on. See, guys, I don't even know if the audience is here today. I'm just in my own little universe, okay? Hope you don't mind that the side dish I'm bringing to Thanksgiving is several bottles of wine that I am not sharing with anyone else.
Well, you do see that is a problem, right? You get around family and
I'm going to say this is a family show, but at Rosso's got a great high octane eggnog that if you're dating or you want to just ask me for the recipe and
just leave out the eggnog.
Yeah, and all the Thanksgiving dressing will be out the window. It's a really good eggnog recipe. Big fan of eggnog.
I come from a family where gravy is considered a beverage.
Now, that's a good one. That is clever. So, this is Medicare Advantage. And Chris would say, don't have so much gravy. It's not healthy for you. All right. So, new programs. And again, the reason I'm bringing up Aetna as being a trendsetter, other Medicare Advantage programs. When you analyze Medicare Advantage, Medigap's pretty standardized, right? There is letters across the board. G is the most comprehensive. You go to Medicare.gov, it's real easy. Medicare Advantage, they have all these bells and whistles. I understand cost is one of the things you look at, but you got to look deeper than cost, right? You got to look at out-of-pocket maximums. You've got to look at the other benefits that you want. So they're doing extra support for low-income members, which is great. Hospice. So you might need special care and support. There is hospice through Medicare, but there's also Aetna's looking at this continued transitional concurrent care, treatment of diagnosis of terminal illness, additional in-home support, so more robust hospice care. Medicare payment cards, right, to new debit cards in select states to help people with co-payments. Therapeutic massage. I know there's all kinds of benefits. I don't like people touching me, but, that's another story. But therapeutic massage is supposed to be very, very good, especially for seniors. So as we live longer, what you have to keep in mind, if you are in a Medicare Advantage plan, it is even more important with all these different bells and whistles that you analyze your particular program every year to make the right decision. So it's very, very important to do that. Anything else you want to say about that, Danny?
No, I think you've covered it all. I mean, look, Medicare, Medigap. I mean, we could talk about this for hours, and we'd probably bore everybody listening because
we already lost everybody. So just keep talking.
Well, but it is one of those things that you say, well, I'm nowhere near it. I don't need to be concerned with this. The issues are with this is that there are some permanent implications if you don't do it correctly, if you sign up for the wrong thing. And look, it may not be you, but maybe we're seeing more and more children helping their parents choose policies. So while it may
that
not
is a huge trend. And there you go, Chris. There's a benefit for you.
Yeah.
Adult children education of program, because that is absolutely happening. I cannot tell you how many calls I get from children.
Correct.
Saying, hey, I need to help my in-laws, and where do I go? What do I do? They need the education. People in their 40s that are researching it for parents. That's a great point.
Well, and this is something that's really important. We don't sell Medicare or health insurance per se, but we are partnering with a firm that does here in the future, and it's going to be really beneficial for people to be able to get on, compare policies, have somebody to walk you through it without you feeling like somebody's trying to sell you something. And I think that's really important. And that's why, we're choosing to do something like this, because there's such a need out there for somebody for a good comprehensive overview of Medicare, Medigap, Medicare Advantage. Mm-hmm. These are things that do cost a lot of money. So people say, why would we do this? Because something we talk about each and every day. I mean, you and I teach classes on Medicare. Right. And the reason we do so is because it's such an important aspect of the overall financial plan. Look, it's not about just making money in the markets, which, is what most people are focusing on when we talk about finances and planning and things of that nature. It's about keeping money in your pocket. This is a really good way to ensure that we can do so all along the way, and that you're not making mistakes that will cost you, each and every year, which that is very possible. If you miss an enrollment period, you could have permanent, increases in what your premiums are. That can be problematic. And so we want to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. So that's a big reason why, we talk about this over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's an important topic, especially when you see where Part B premiums are going. I mean, we're going to $170 for Part B next year. That's a hefty increase over this year. And we account for that kind of inflation in our plans and additional out-of-pocket costs. The healthier you can be before retirement and taking on a regimen, the better off your overall retirement is going to be. I think I told you my mental accounting, how I stay healthy, right? That $100 I move in and out of my retirement account.
I thought it was like you eat a donut, you eat a carrot.
Yeah. So if I'm really good, right? I don't I don't have the abs of Lance Roberts. But my diet is pretty careful, right? So if I splurge or say I have a hamburger or whatever, I'm going to take money out of my retirement account. I got debited.
You need to add money to the retirement account if you have a hamburger.
No, I add money to the retirement account. Oh, no, but I use it as, I add money to it if I'm actually eating healthy.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need the money.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm eating healthier, I'm going to live longer.
Well, you may live longer, but just in not a great state as well. I mean, people are living longer even though they're unhealthy.
Well, I attach it to if I'm healthier, I'm going to live longer. And that means I need more money in retirement. So I put money into the account. But yeah, you could look at it the other way as well.
Yeah, you could because you think, hey, I have that donut. Well, okay, maybe I'm going to have some extra medical bills. Because of it.
Yeah, you're looking at it from that perspective,
yeah.
right? So anything you could do to stay healthy. This is a terrible topic. For the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like,
who's cooking the pie?
Can this be absolutely the worst topic?
It's the buzzkill show.
Oh, let me tell you, we're killing the buzzes all over the place.
Well, hold
with
on.
this.
You got to think you put Medicare open enrollment right smack dab in the middle of
I did
the
not
holiday
plan
season.
this show very
Halloween,
well, everybody. I'm going
Thanksgiving.
to have to tell you candidly, I did not plan. This could have been a much better show. I think we should end it right now.
All right. Well,
No.
So why did the turkey cross the road?
Because the chicken told him what?
To prove he wasn't chicken.
Oh.
Oh, that's. I got to give credit where credit's due. That's JP on our YouTube channel. So thank you very
thanks,
much,
JP. Keep them coming, man.
Keep them coming. Hey, if you're
got
not on
four-
there,
we
go
got
to the
3 more minutes.
The Real Investment Show on YouTube. I'd love to have you there as well. If you miss a show, you can always go there and check it out because we have a library, a Rolodex of all the different shows, actually topics, webinars. You and I will do topics from time to time and just kind of break them down. A lot of information there.
So this is what I foresee in the future. Chris, take note. I want profits if this happens. A blood RX center.
Okay.
In other words, your blood is your most complete diagnostic. Matter of fact, there's a test now. It's $900. And this test, I can't remember the name of it, but this test can actually you can pre-screen for all these different cancers, and it'll show you how much of a tendency you have to get them. Because your blood pretty much tells you
Well,
everything.
didn't somebody try to do this? And aren't they on trial right now?
No.
Net Thanos?
No. But
Theranos?
but I'm saying your blood tells you a lot.
Yeah.
So if you go in and say you have type 2 diabetes and you go into this blood diagnostic center by Aetna and it says, well, for the last 2 years, your A1C has been this. Mm-hmm. We're going to give you a 10% discount off your premiums or additional benefits that you wouldn't get if you didn't manage these ongoing diseases, because that's going to be the issue, right? It's lifestyle diseases,
Yeah.
right? Because we tend to be more sedentary here in the United States, right? And that can lead to other conditions that make other issues worse, whether it's COVID, right, or anything else, right? Your diet, your activity level is really important. So I could see that eventually they tie some sort of blood diagnostic or some other tests or management of disease into hefty discounts. I think that would probably be a good idea. Well, while I'm reading a book that, an article that's saying that shoppers in the UK, since they're out of supplies, they usually have, crates of vegetables. Instead, they have boxes of chocolate. So we don't have the vegetables, so we're just going to put chocolate out. Oh, that's a great idea, don't you think?
Hey, go big or go home.
Well, listen, everyone, I promise the next show is going to be great because it'll be after Thanksgiving.
We'll be talking about dieting and how do you lose those pounds. Kidding.
Yeah, the financial diet factor. I'm going to come up with something real creative for you guys. Next week, we have a best of, unless you want us to be here and have no life. Don't answer that, Lance. We'll be back a couple of weeks, but went back on Monday, right? Yep. Full show Monday. We'll see you soon. Have a very happy, healthy Thanksgiving. Be grateful. Talk to y'all soon.
It's a rich man's world.